Hey guys, I want to give you a little market update in the city of Hamilton specifically so you understand where the market is at right now and what a normal real estate market looks like in this particular time that we're in. I'll give you some real sort of boots on the ground and address it in that manner. On Friday, I went out with one of my clients and we looked at 11 listings. I know I recommend six max, but we've been hammering it out because they want to find a house and we have a limited time span to do it. So you got to jam them in when you can. She takes notes. She's great at it. I spreadsheet everything, which I do for all my clients. So we are both on board of where everything's at. So we saw 11 listings on Friday, which we went back again on Saturday to see four of them that we were contemplating a potential offer on them. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview so you have insight as to where the market in Hamilton is. So, homes that we looked at, I'm going to address six of them right now. So we looked at some on the mountain and some downtown. So I'll start downtown first. So we looked at one on Cumberland. It was priced appropriately, sort of backing onto the escarpment, and it was listed for 609.9. They, I believe, had two offers registered on that property, of which when I logged on to the matrix, I see that one of them was accepted. It has a 48-hour escape clause. It's conditional, active but conditional, so people can still go through it if they wanted to. An escape clause means that it quite possibly is conditional on finance or sale of buyer's property. This was written into the conditions. This is me just hypothetically speaking. I have no idea what the conditions were written in the offer. So therefore, they are still allowed to accept other offers. And in doing so, quite possibly, then they can bump the first offer out of place. This is something that I can explain in detail in another video, but just to give you an idea. So that was one of the 11 properties we looked at, has conditional offers been accepted. Another one that we looked at downtown was on Alanson. Beautiful house, beautifully done. No proper basement, more or less. It's a partial basement that you could get to via a trap door. Backing onto the escarpment. I have to say the finishing on this property was stunning, and outside of the fact that it had a limited yard and the price points have been all over the place since it's been listed for, I believe, like not, almost a full year or three-quarters of a year. The prices have been all over, up and down, actually almost 2 years. So what that's done is, in my opinion, that's attached what's called a stigma to the property, which I've explained in another video. So they as well received two offers this weekend. That house was priced at $599. Neither of the offers were accepted, and now they have readjusted the price and put it at $724.9, which in my opinion is more in keeping with what the seller is hoping to get, somewhere in that within that 5% price range of listing. So then we will work up the mountain, and we saw some lovely properties. One was East 22nd. I believe we went to see that one. It was listed at $699 and it sold for less than list at $682.5. So that's positive. There we have a winner. And then we move into what I call the proverbial location areas. The first one being on Wise Court. That one was originally listed at $699. I believe it was only on the market for 6 days tops. They ended up getting 7 offers. That was one of the properties that my buyers were interested in because, again, location. Beautifully maintained home. It had a garage. It had parking. It was in a lovely area in Huntington, and it sold for $734,000. Very expected and normal price point, and I will add less than what it would have sold last year. So please note that. Then we looked at another property on Brett Court. That one was listed at $649.8, also priced within market value, and that also sold firm at $670K. I think they received 2 offers on that property, if memory serves correct. I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on that. And then the final property was, of course, on Wavell, which is also in a lovely location. This house was listed at $649.9, a little high in my opinion for the condition of the home. However, the area garners the price point, and it also sold for $670. The house needs a lot of work, flat out on that one. But you are truly buying location in that property. So the 3 properties that sold over list are very reflective of location. And they are also reflective of being priced according, the listing agents paying attention, as do I, what the market is doing. Perhaps when they first initially saw the property, they might have listed a little bit higher. And then when the property went to listing on the matrix to the public, which usually is about a week to 2 week span by the time we have meetings with sellers and finalize everything, organize pictures, clean, etc., there might have been a price point adjustment and it was reflected accordingly. And those properties sold right away, firm. So this is reflective of the market right now. So I also want to say that of those 11 properties that we saw, the expectations of my buyers were very realistic. So what I'm actually seeing in the Hamilton market right now is as follows. If I were to look at stats, which I'm a big believer of because I'm a little bit of a geek, what I'm seeing right now in listings, number of sales in January were 258 this year. Last January, they were 283. Here's another little interesting stat, the list price to sold ratio. So this January, we've dropped to 97.4%, meaning what it was listed at and what it sold for is 97.4% less. Last January, we were at 120.1%. So properties on average were selling for 120% over list price, or 20% over list. So that gives you a clear indication that the market has shifted and we are normalizing, if not normalized. If I go back in time a few years, January 2020, we had 311 listings and 99.1% list price to sale price ratio. January 2019, 298 listings, 98%. January 2018, 292 listings, 97.9%. So what I'm trying to say to you is we're actually down in the number of listings. However, we've equalized out in what the sales price is to what the list ratio is. So this is a good thing. So most agents, statistically, I would say we're probably in the 90% range. They're not taking the approach of underlisting a property because right now, as I will say to all of my clients, this is not something that I like to do when you've, period. I will do it though, based on the stats that I give you and the direction that you want to take. However, it can backfire. And what we're seeing in a couple of the properties that have had price fluctuations all over the place, that is quite possibly a very direct reflection of underlisting. Stigma gets attached to the property, and then people back off because they're wondering what is actually wrong with the property. So we're seeing properties move right now. They are anticipating CMHC and CREA, the Canadian Real Estate Association, they are anticipating house prices to continue going up into the third and fourth quarter of this year. So competition is not as stiff. You as a buyer, I know it may seem difficult right now, but don't anticipate putting in lowball offers. This is not that kind of a market. Buyers putting in lowball offers on properties is not necessarily a good thing because it won't end you in the result that you're looking for. You can always take that chance. Read the stats and the data of what's sold in the area. Most homes sell within a 5% range of list price if they've been priced accordingly. Again, as I've said in another video, we pull all the same data that home appraisers do. They go a little bit more in depth with quantifying the finishings, the bathrooms, ratios, bedrooms, location, frontage. We pull the data of sold and compare like to like. They're qualifying for a bank, which is different, but the same as what we're doing because we can't sell a property if it's overvalued and then somebody won't be able to get a bank loan for it. That is not conducive to the economics of home sales, just to put it bluntly. So don't be discouraged. I would highly recommend you start your search, start looking at properties, get out there. There are actually lots of properties for sale right now that are $650,000 and less. Please note that you may not get your dream property right away. Not many of us do. You all have to start somewhere, and you might have to make concessions. So the important thing is to get out there and see what's available in this chosen city that you want to be in. You might perhaps have to move outside the city limits into another city. So for example, if you're working within the Hamilton, Wentworth, Stony Creek area, St. Catharines might be a very viable option for you. There are tons of homes in St. Catharines that are beautiful lots, big properties. They need a marginal amount of work for 650,000 and less, which is very doable for first-time home buying. And I do want to add that 2 years ago, you wouldn't have even been able to consider getting a home that was decent for that price point. So 650,000, outlying areas, Paris, you can find that as well, and definitely in Brantford. Surrounding areas, Caledonia's definitely priced itself up much higher because of everything that's happening in the Hamilton region. So again, please note that we are experiencing a normal real estate market. Don't hold off investing in a home because of interest rates. Buy what you can afford, because remember, when rates shift and drop, you can always readjust your financing. So do a little bit of research on that. Pay attention to how interest rates go. History usually repeats itself in that. If you're concerned, then don't lock in to a fixed rate. Have a variable rate. So if you want to lock in, you can at a lower rate, and move forward from there, because it's better to start building your equity right now in your own asset than it is to be paying off your landlord's investment. So I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, I'm going to be posting more of these videos on a regular basis because I feel it's important for you to be educated when you purchase a house. I will also focus on listing and selling a house and strategies in that department as well, because we all have to work together here. So that's all. Ciao for now. This is my market update and buying tips for the Hamilton area, and I would love to help you out if you're not working with anyone. And if you just find this helpful and useful, please subscribe for future videos. Please like, please share, and have a great week. Love y'all. Ciao for now. Bye.